My name is Prosper Ahmed Amukwando, as the moderator introduced. I am an energy professional. I also work in the infrastructure development as well as international trade and media and behavioral communication. But I'm here to talk to you about none of these. I am here to share with you something that your future and even your businesses or future businesses will rise and fall. I am here to challenge you and challenge myself. My good friends, I'm here to talk to you about leadership. And I guess you've heard about leadership this morning. So this afternoon, considering your state, we're just going to do something very fun and interesting. And I'm talking about 5 things. I have 5 slides, only 5. I just hope you wouldn't be calling me to continue. Now, the leadership challenge resource I'm going to use is called the LPI action cards. That is leadership inventory, leadership practice inventory action cards. And this was authored in 1987. How many of you were born? Or some of you were special intentions? Between your mom and your dad. Now, the key idea about this LPI action card is that leadership is not about your personality. No. Leadership is all about action. It's about practice. In other words, you are not just born a leader, but you can learn and become an effective leader. I have learned leadership along different phases of my life. Starting from when I was a cowboy on the hills of my village in northern part of Ghana. That was my first leadership coaching session. Through to University of California, Davis, University of Oxford, and then the Royal Military Academy in the US, where some of your cool leaders in Africa were trained. And I still learn leadership from my mentors. So as I told you, my goal here is to share with you some of the 5 practices that effective leaders, undertake. So if you have a card, just pay attention. I will start with one practice, then I'll mention the number on your card. Each card has a leadership practice written on it. So when I mention your number, please get up with the leadership strength you have. Read whatever is on it loudly for the camera guys to capture. I hope it's clear. It's a good deal. Good. The first slide, please. So the first practice that all effective leaders do is that they model the way. They model the way. I'm not going to explain that to you. You explain that to yourself. Number 1, if you have card number 1, quickly get up. Read it loudly. What does it mean to model the way? What does it mean to model the way? Number 1.
Model the way.
What does it mean? Read what is in there.
Set a personal example of what he or she expects of others.
Exactly. Set a personal example. Don't be the kind of preachers who will say, do what I say, but don't do what I do. You got to set an example. Number 6. Quickly. When I mention your number, please be up.
Spend time and energy making certain that the people he or she works with adheres to the principles and standards that he have agreed.
Exactly. You've set you are modeling the way. You've set an example. Agree with your team that, look, this is the example we are all going to follow, and then ensure that it is enforced. Number 11. 11, quickly. Please. Leaders. Great.
Follows through on promises and commitments he or she makes.
Thank you very much. So part of modeling the way is let your word be your word. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. Very simple principles. Number 16.
Asks for feedback on how his or her actions affect other people's performance.
Exactly. Sometimes, all of you have different personalities when we're kids. You know, some of us accused our parents of loving some of our brothers and not loving some of us because we were too troublesome. So they had to deal with us with hard gloves. You get the point? Now, some of our parents, especially my dad, will come and ask you, Prosper, I hope the way I'm handling you, it does not thwart your innovation. So as a leader, depending on the temperaments or the personalities you are dealing with, ask them, how am I doing? You get it? If you've schooled abroad, you realize that at the end of the term, there are 2 evaluations done. Teachers evaluate you, and you also evaluate teachers. In Ghana, it's one-way traffic most of the time. Number 21. 21. We want to make good use of the 15 minutes.
Build consensus around a common set of values for running our organization.
Thank you very much. When the moderator said, let's switch, some of you were doing, When you set up your business, there will be times when not all of you will agree on what to do, a common action. So you got to build consensus. Some will lose and gain otherwhere, and others too will lose somewhere and gain other places. 26. To be honest, some of you, if you were heads of state, they can easily do a coup d'etat on you. The way you get up, no energy.
Is clear about his or her philosophy of leadership.
Thank you. He's very clear about his or her philosophy of leadership. All of you who are as young as I am probably have lived through President Jerry John Rawlings' leadership. You've lived through John Ajekum Kufuor's leadership. You've lived through Atta Mills's, John Mahama, and you are now going through Akufo-Addo. All these leaders had different leadership philosophy. An example that I can give you that I personally had when by God's grace, I met President Obama in 2016 in Washington, D.C. One thing I learned between he and George Bush was that for President George Bush, when you are at the table, he asks Condoleezza Rice, what do you think? Colin Powell, what do you think? When he hears from these two, the rest you can keep quiet. President Obama will go around, even including the cleaner, 2 different leadership philosophies. It works on one hand, it has its challenges on the other hand. You get it? So be sure about your leadership philosophy. The next slide, please. So the second practice of all effective leaders is that they inspire a shared vision. They inspire a shared vision. Card number 2. Card number 2.
Inspire a shared vision talks about future trends that will influence how work gets done.
Thank you very much. I don't know, 5 years back, I doubt whether somebody actually envisioned COVID. But I do know some leaders of some organizations envision that the way we work will change. Technology will play a very important role. So that is one of the practices. Number 7.
Describes a compelling image of what our future could be.
Thank you.
Like,
on the 6th of March 1957, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said that he wants Ghana to be a model country in the world, on the African continent, a hub for industry, the gateway to Africa, even though now some people are saying with Ghana, I'm saying it's becoming a window. You get my point? So you need to give an image of the future. Kwame Nkrumah said this is going to be an industrial hub. In other words, you will have the auto industry, you will have the manufacturing industry, and all other industries. So to inspire a shared vision, you should be able to describe a compelling image. Number 12. Charlie, you can be a military leader. Kindly repeat what you said. Thank you very much. Not only him, sharing the future, but you also sharing the kind of future you want to see. I don't know whether during any of your presentations you were asked, what kind of Ghana do you want to see? What kind of Africa do you want to see? as far as the context of this occasion is concerned, we want to see a country that feeds itself. You get my point? Number 17.
Show others how their long-term interests can be realized by enlisting in a common vision.
Exactly. Self-explanatory. Number 22. Paint what? Okay. I think the microphone, I hope we could have a virtual microphone.
Paint the big picture of what we aspire to accomplish.
Thank you very much. Paint the big picture. You get the point. Paint the big picture. Then, number 27. Exactly, with conviction. Don't speak as if maybe you are just dreaming or you're not even sure of what is going to happen. Sometimes when we were student leaders, I don't know about some of you. For me, I was a commotion leader, but my size always freed me. You go and cause commotion and they bring you to disciplinary committee and they say, but look at how small he is. He can't do what he said. You get the point? But as small as I was in Legon, I would do your boy and everybody will follow me because of conviction. If you are not convicted about what you are saying, say your boy, everybody's running away. Please be convicted in whatever you are doing as a leader. The third slide, please. Challenge the process. Challenge the process. Number 3. Number 3.
Seek out challenging opportunities that test his or her own skills and ability.
Thank you very much. All of you are leaders. And by virtue of the fact that you have accepted a card to get up and speak, probably you are afraid of crowd. You are actually seeking an opportunity to challenge your own self and to grow. Do you get that? Number 8.
Challenges people to try out new and innovative ways to do their work.
Thank you very much. Assuming, by the way, my training is in theoretical physics and mathematics. So I wanted to be an astronaut. Now, assuming that Alberta was still bent on having me, and I told her that, look, I am in Mars. I am not on Earth, not talk about Ghana. Alberta could have told these guys that, you know what, we want to hear from him. So, you know, we will stream him live from the moon. That is what that statement means. Challenging the team to seek out innovative ways of doing stuff. Number 18.
Ask what can we learn when things don't go as expected.
Exactly. There will always be failure. I don't know whether when God was creating this world, there was a failure anywhere. But sometimes we always think there was a failure when somebody asks you who born you by mistake. But in every situation, pause and ask yourself, what can we learn? There is no wrong occasion or no wrong event. It might only be unpleasant. It might be painful at that moment. But if you step back and ask yourself, what can we learn? You will realize that more ideas can come out of it. Number 23, please. 23, please. If I don't mention your number, forgive me, just in the interest of time.
Make certain that we set achievable goals, make concrete plans, and establish measurable milestones for the projects and programs we work on.
Exactly. Set achievable goals. Notwithstanding the moon streaming example I talked about, please don't set a goal that you want to create a new animal. That is not achievable, because I know you guys are agriculturalists. You might want to clone an animal. You get the point? But set achievable goals. Maybe, okay, you know what? This year, as a businessman with a large-scale farm like IWAD, instead of irrigating using human manpower or manpower, I am going to, fumigate the whole farm using drones. That's a very lofty goal, but it's achievable. You get a point? And you need to plan, strategize. Don't just set the goal and then just go and keep praying. No, it can't happen. Strategize and set, milestones to monitor your progress. That is very important. I hope it's clear. Great. Let's go to number 23. Number 23. You just read it. Okay, that's good. 28. I remove my mark so that you can see my face. I'm not an ass.
Experiment and take risks, even when there's a chance of failure.
Exactly. Experiment. Look, if you're not ready to take risk, look, forget about success. Getting onto the car and traveling from Tamale or wherever to this place is a risk. So be ready to take risk and be ready to experiment. Just make sure that you don't experiment with your life. Let's go to the next slide. This is the penultimate slide, second but last slide. Enable others to act. This is very important. So enabling others to act, let's listen to number 4.
Develop cooperative relationship among the people he or she works with.
Exactly. If you don't do that, be ready to suffer from palace school. Your own people you work with will work against you. So you need to have a cooperative relationship with them if you want to be effective as a leader. Number 9.
Actively listen to diverse points of views.
Exactly. Actively listen to diverse points of view. Titles and status in life. Such that when somebody is even a cleaner, you want to treat the person with something with lack of dignity. Please, an effective leader should treat everybody with respect and dignity, irrespective of the person's academic degree. We like degrees a lot in this country. Educate yourself, but don't be obsessed with degrees. You get the point? Because look, your degrees can be more than that of a thermometer. When we all die, we have 1 degree, RIP. I learned at the Royal Military Academy in the UK that don't micromanage people. Just give them the goal you want to achieve, and however they will achieve it, let them do it. Like Akufo-Addo said, you know what? Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, I want free education launched. As to however you do it, I don't care. I hope you get the point. Great. Number 29.
Ensures that people grow in their jobs by learning new skills and developing themselves.
This is very important. Some of you will come out of school and you'll be working with government agencies. Part of the agencies that I work for is what we call their government. And one thing you realize is people don't work very hard. When they were at your age, they were not taking steps and risks to come and learn. They start back. Then by the time they realize they are left with 5 years to go on retirement. Meanwhile, they are non-directors. Now, when there's a training for even a technician, they want to go for the training because of per diem. That is not an effective leader. An effective leader is somebody who trains, puts people on training, so that in the end, they'll become better and grow. The last slide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last or the 5th leadership practice. I told you it's all about action, not your personality. And the last action is you encourage the heart. Encourage the heart. What does that mean? Let's listen to card bearer number 5.
Praise people for a job well done.
Exactly. Praise people for a job well done. Don't be like my father or me when I later became a teacher at physics department in Legon. I remember my brother came to me and said, "Hey, Prosper, I got 98%. I asked him, 98%? What did the teacher do that you left the 2% for him? You get the point? But at least, having gone through the leadership training, which I'm sharing with you, lessons of which I'm sharing with you, I have come to learn that, look, pat him at the back and said, congratulations, well done, but you can do better. Number 10.
Make it a point to let people know about his or her confidence in their abilities.
Exactly. Tell the guy that, look, sir, I believe in you. You can do it. How many of you remembered the Guinness advert that was acted by Michael Power? How many of you remember? He told the young man that, believe in yourself. The guy wanted to be a DJ. He tried, he failed. But he said, I have confidence in you. Please demonstrate confidence in people. That alone can resuscitate somebody with low confidence. Just say, I believe in you. And to be honest with you, that is the kind of leadership we are lacking in Africa today. Those days, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah will, at certain periods of the year, he will have dinner with young people at the Flagstaff House. He will tell the scientists, I trust in you. The future of Ghana is on your shoulders. Today, Paul Kagame does it in Rwanda. Because if you want to see the future of a country, look at the confidence level of its youth today. These guys are all running all over the place. At the end of the day, if Alberta is listening, as someone who will demonstrate this practice, you tell them that, look, you guys, you did a good job, but not for you guys. This event would have been a bomb, not just a uranium bomb, but an atomic bomb. You get the point? Number 25. Well, let me just one person. Pardon me? Great. This is at my heart because with considering where we are on the globe and the cultural settings within which we were brought up, we are made to confuse celebrating our achievement and boasting. Our development partners would tell us, when you receive an application from a Nigerian or an American and from a Ghanaian to talk about your achievement, the Ghanaian writes as if he's writing prayer points. Celebrate your achievement. You've achieved something, look, be happy about yourself. And it takes a leader to lead a group to celebrate your achievement. The last one, card number 30. If you want to encourage them to grow, do it in private. One thing that I learned for the period that I was a student at the University of Oxford was this. I changed my vocabulary about advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no con, there is no disadvantage, there is no weakness. You are either talking about your strength as a person and opportunities for growth on the other side. It's not a weakness. Maybe today you are not able to speak in public. It is not a weakness. A weakness is a state of being. But you as a person, you can grow. So it's an opportunity for growth. You are not good in mathematics. You are not weak there. You say, look, there is an opportunity for growth. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 10 or 12 minutes, we've been talking about the 5 practices of an effective leader. We talked about the fact that an effective leader should model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, encourage the heart. Having heard all of this, look, I have been through different leadership training. I've led international groups, but I still fail. It's tough. Leadership is not about dancing azonto and drinking sobolo. It is tough. You will fail sometimes, but when you do fail, as we heard, take a step backward and find out, what can I learn? You will fall on your leadership journey, but each time you fall, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and then move. I learned this year on social media, the theme is, we move. You get a point? So what I want to kindly request of you is, all of you having the cards, kindly just bring them and drop them here. Not now. If you don't bring it and drop it, it's a big leadership fall and you might not wake up from that fall. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention. And this particular training, when we did it at the University of Oxford for Toastmasters, each person paid a subsidized price of £250. You are having it free, and you are even being entertained on top. So please make it count. Make it what?
Count.
Make it what?
Count.
Make it what?
Count.
On this third count, I want to thank you for your attention and your enthusiastic participation.
Wow.
I think, yes, I can see the standing ovation. Let's give it up for